Guys, listen. I'm super. You guys have no idea. I'm crushed right now. We just had an amazing conversation. We even peeled the palm fruit from the sack. Like you can see, we did a whole job. We had a whole conversation. I learned a lot from this community. My elders did not just have a conversation with me, they welcomed me. They even taught me the word mango, which you guys have never heard before, but I'm the first person to hear from this village. And listen, a whole 2-hour conversation just went off. Couldn't save, couldn't do anything. And I don't know what to say, but I believe everything happens for good. Everything that happens is good. So we give thanks regardless of what happens. But the least I wanted to do is that at least they should take us through the libations again for us to learn the libation. And at least let me just get that for you guys. But I've learned a lot. I even learned that the gift of witchcraft, the potent one, is the one that is birthed from the womb of the mother. That's the potent witchcraft, is birthed from the womb. So such people, when they come into the dimensions of this world, there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot turn it, you cannot train it, you cannot change it. And I learned that there are people who come into this dimension with two witches. There are two types. One that comes in to do good, another that comes in to do evil. The one that comes to do evil, they come in, and there's nothing you can do about it. That is what the Creator allowed them to come into this dimension to do. And even though it might look to our understanding as evil, it's not necessarily evil because they are doing the job that the Creator intended for them to do. And the ones that are also here to do good, that is what they came to do. So I learned the lesson that whatever you are here to do in this dimension, enjoy it. Be content with what you have. Don't try to look like, oh, I was not created well, or I'm a misfortune or something like that. Don't do that. You were brought here to do just what the Creator intended to do. Ask questions like, so people refrain from the gods, the powers that be. What do they say? And my elder asked me a question that, who created all of us sitting here? It's the Creator that created all of us. So if the Creator created all of us, then it means that the Creator also created the gods. The Creator created the power. So in the sight of the Creator, there's nothing like evil. Because He created everything and allowed everything to function the way they are. He used to go to church. And 12 apostles, the church that he used to go, with the 12 apostles. And he doesn't go anymore. So I asked him, why doesn't he go anymore? He said the elder died. And when the elder died, it became about money. So he decided that, you know what, I'm not going to go. And I told him that, oh, I also used to go to church, but I don't do that anymore. And I asked him, does he pray? He said, yes, he prays. In our conversation, he said that the youth in this community are all running away from spirituality. When the chief is even performing certain rituals and they are mixing, you know, a talk, we've already discussed a talk. When they are mixing their talk and spreading their talk in the community, the youth don't even come around. So they are the same people that go to help the chief to do what must be done. So our generation, this younger generation, are actually running away from the truth of our spirituality. And they also taught me the lesson that there are two gods actually in this community. One is Nana KWASI, who is on Nana KWASI, who the literal meaning of it's a Sunday God, Sunday power, and Anshel simply means never loses or never loses a thing. And there's another God in the lake that is on the other side. And these gods do not fight themselves. They are not at loggerheads. They are not enemies. They work together. So sometimes the God here in the lake can carry a message to Nana KWASI. And Nana KWASI, through the priest, would communicate whatever message that they have to deliver. And the right things would be done. And also the fact that we spoke about, that's the mother. So that's Atapain and that's Atakakra. And that's the mother. And the mother is clocking almost 90. And we spoke about food and the fact that we are killing our food in such that now when you go to the farms, you cannot even just grow the thing. Because when you put it down, it's not going to come unless you apply the chemicals, unless you apply the fertilizers. And it's gotten so bad that in our villages, the foods are not the same. So you might be in the city thinking that, okay, I'm getting food from the village, but it's actually still chemicalized. And we learned that lesson, and it was a sad one. We also learned the fact that when we were kids, we were taught that to run away from our grandmothers. when you see a grandmother, run away. Because they are basically witches and all of that. So I was like, why are they witches? I used to be afraid of grandmothers, especially when they have gray hair and they have their staff walking with and all of that. So it's a sad one, because one of the lessons that we came to understand is that we are all going to grow, and we are all going to grow old. So if you are chasing the grandmothers because you think they are witches, then what would happen to you when you grow? I mean, listen, the lessons that we learned are enormous, and I'm sad. I'm really sad that we lost this video, but everything works together for good. We also spoke about another community. They are family heads in their mother community. I actually almost got there, but I didn't get there. It's Gomwa Desum. That is where they are family heads. So they are showing me that I can also go there to have conversations there. There are a lot of grown-ups, there are a lot of elders there. And we poured libation, we poured libation. We had fun. It was an amazing conversation. Lots of lessons, but it's sad that, and there's an example that Elder made, that those days you can put tomatoes down in 2 weeks, you come and meet the tomatoes strong. But now you cannot even do the same thing. The tomato, you put it down and it goes waste. And our Elder Payne also spoke a lot. Everybody chipped in and what they think of witchcraft, spirituality, power. They believe the gods exist. Like I told you, there are two powers that exist in this community. I actually wanted to go to the lake, but they are telling me that I can't go to the lake because I'm a stranger. Before I get to the lake, I need to speak to the priest so that the priest would literally lead me to the make me do all the right things that I need to do before I can get to the lake. They're also showing me about Someya, Aguna Someya, that there's a river that passes through Aguna Someya, and there's Framaye. There's another place, Framaye, and also there's a couple of dams around that our elder Yao our elder Yao might even take us there to go and see the place. So I'm excited and I'm sad at the same time, because I get to learn a lot of lessons, and now I feel like I have another family here, because every time I'm passing, I can just come in and say, Daddy, I'm home, can I get a place to sleep? So I'm excited, but I'm sad at the same time. I just wanted to summarize what you guys missed. Listen, it was a 2-hour conversation, and we lost it. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to allow, and I even tasted the appetition. I tasted it. You guys, you missed it. You missed that part. Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited. I know spiritually. I know spiritually it's not right to pour libation and just do it again. I know spiritually it's not right. But I'm going to plead. And we also spoke about Amen. So when they pray here, they conclude in Amen. The fact that Amen is not an English word, it's an ancient word from our fathers, from our spirituality. And we cannot end the prayer, conclude a prayer without ending in Amen. So I'm only pleading that they go take us through the libation again so that we learn. Actually, you see it for yourself.
Oh yeah, man, the first one. All the one video. Video number. Obviously, the second one. And I'm about to piano. What's it? Obviously, we're in pass second one. And so, no, we'll be asked no other. We'll see. It's about 1.5.
Yo. Eh, sampa. Ayo fa, como kwata na yoi.
So,
you know, no sanction. One of us in Pena, then you think, we can say, would you go? Mabra, Sansa, Luna, I pay when you see me. from one. Oh, yeah, one and about before the man sent. What's your child in the moon? Never because I'm Dobama. Look, may I go to Babama? Lena, the Bacono, Ama, the Orias I have one penny do. No, each again at the man. You, yes, again. Barbara Young. Yes, you are here, I am Quabu. The playing and playing. A black would do me, sir. When they feel about the bag, what was a funeral? What walk? We see our band our way too. What I thought for could be. I'm missing now, young Quabu. You're praying and praying. Now, you're going there. Oh. Okay, so people Abba, and then you can name me Abba, Attacker, on fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
And go be fair some deep.
Amen.
Also, about Conwaba, who's of Sensitina, over Baba project here. Mofra, or waiting when you need. The actual Tranka, found my corner, sitting over on rope. See, mon papa in I am.
Yeah.
Now, when we first meet, come back and come on. This is like a couple. Settle my dad.
Amen. Monacata.
I said no problem. I say, oh, man,
but I'm going to get some also.
oh, yeah.
So, video near.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we go?
What a monko.
No. Nana, your friend.
The phone, one.
I was on Panama, your friend. In sending at the mountain. If you know, your chair you did. You are the part on my queen here. Double month. It's a no. I blanty. I feel what the buy. Them of the friend, Papa, walk us out. I go for you at that time. I said, we'll go crowded. Then we will be. Inside so, and I'm passing.
So guys, like I said, traditionally and spiritually, you're not supposed to pray and pray over it again. So we lost the first one, and I'm really sad about it, but I just wanted them to do again so you can feel the energy and everything in it was low. The reason being that you don't do it and do it over again. Once it's done, it's done. So, but just for your sake, I wanted you guys to also have an experience of it.
Our enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They play upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. They do not tell us that we should unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free.
Don't fucking move on. Shoot your fucking ass, bitch. Tase his ass.
Why are you so angry? I'm angry because it's been going on forever. Enough is enough. We're waiting for it back. I will, sir. No worries. I will. Fuck. He just shot his arm off. We got pulled over on Larpener.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead. Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like that.
Keep your hands where they are, please.
Yes, I will, sir. I'll keep my hands where they are. Please don't tell me this, Lord. Please, Jesus, don't tell me that he's gone. Please don't tell me that he's gone. Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him. You shot 4 bullets into him, sir. He was just getting his license and registration, sir.
Mid-20th century is Africa's. This decade is the decade of African independence. Forward then to independence. To independence now. Tomorrow, the United States of Africa.
chair with the information.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I hear. This so my girl.
This will be my homework.
No, I hear you. Okay, no, I'm missing I Okay. Oh, into I'm gonna for no. Come me, I'm gonna. Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah. But also Kassan say I'm gonna work as why you fancy but difference who work as
yeah, Mamma Chimney.
So we are
hey, what you wait to you? What a share paying before now. Okay, big capona. Maybe some word of history about some baby.
No, the
Guys, listen, it's getting exciting already. We already started. Welcome to Social Thursday, and I'm excited to be here. The conversation has started, and where it's going, I had to pause it. And so it started by saying the family, and when we greet each other in Ghana, when we ask, when you say afternoon elders or good evening elders, they ask you what. I'm trying to find a word for it. They want to find out which of the clans you belong to, which of the tribes you belong to, which of the clans you belong to. So every clan has a greeting that we use, and anyone that is from the royal clan, they greet and respond Ya Hinowa, which says that you are from the royal family. So, and in the royal family, we have family emblems or totems. So I'm just learning about the lion totem, and he just said something that is a bit strange, because he's saying that or tree.
What you do follow a hunter
into your tree.
What you but here a Luciano said, Fanabia, we are so Sabrina Trinity,
Today's going to be interesting. So, what Elder is saying is that when you are from the Chinichi clan or the tribe, when the Chinichi is like the symbolic name for that particular family or tribe. So the lion is the totem The lion is the totem. So when you are even in the forest or in the jungle and you meet the lion and you give the lion's totem name, or you sort of appellate the lion, you give some appellation to the lion, and you say Chinichi, Chinichi, the lion will not attack, and the lion would humble itself, because the lion will recognize that you are of the same blood. This is deep. The lion will recognize that you are of the same blood, that you are from the same ancestry, and because of that, the lion would not attack you. The lion will just will humble itself to you and even bow to you. That maybe so. From KWASI. No my prophet was over say. Yes, Foba. So sign. You don't know what now I am. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So actually, so Carmen, I thought was husband and wife, but I got to know it's not. Oh, I got to know it's mother and son. So that is the mother, Grandma AC, and that's the son, Elder KWASI. AHEN. Wow. So it's that. What? I don't know. Share the mic. There also one on top. So young people. I have been here, you know, visa. Fine, you will be to the where it's maybe I will anymore. I feel so small and I feel I recall. Maybe I got one as serious. So we are second income. So I just second income. Because I if you want to him neighbor in what can I walk around here? Oh, no, second income. This is a bravo one. So there was a system in. So I was asking Elder KWASI about how our fathers came into this intelligence, and he's saying that growing up, there were a lot of elders around. So what they used to do is that they go from time to time to inquire from the elders exactly what's happening and where they are coming from, what is the history, what is the tradition, what went on from their times. And Elder KWASI is telling me that our elders and our ancestors were the ones who taught and educated these things. And what they did was that so we had no idea this was going to come up, but it came from nowhere. Guys, just wait for it. I mean, just be patient, wait for it. This is not planned, it just came from nowhere.
Oba baby bia sabi ahana meti minko be bia o se ofre me ugoni amidi mi se ugoni amidi Messi ugoni amidi
o nti ka se bia sa o do o imu ha bisable papi ya wa be asen da aya na muka ti o wa ka so wa ju yejma wa bu furu ho am na ya wa ju yejma so wa ju yejma.
So now he wants to find out why I'm having a conversation with the elders and why I'm having a conversation with the elders for starters, and why I didn't ask for permission from him. Then he came about saying, why am I even sitting on the bench? The bench, I didn't bring the bench there. I only brought the camera. I didn't bring the bench. So why am I even sitting on the bench? So it just became something else.
Told you about say, who is my so many years. I don't boss, I don't feel progressive. Well, where then? Where then? Anybody want you to say one for we are oh, I'm a town community. So if you're not
Sako, in your case, be I'm the Aussie. No one sees ya, but you at Yano. Sorry, what the white me to shut out the
So Elder KWASI came to my rescue and was trying to explain to him that we are just learning. We just want to learn about our history and our spirituality. It's not like the government have employed us or the government have assigned us to come and take any data or information from them. This has nothing to do with the government. This is a self-initiative. This is a group that wants to study about our history. So they came asking me questions. And then if anything at all, you should have asked me why they are here rather than attacking them. So now he's asking about drink, why I didn't bring any drink to appease the elders. Why did I come before the elders empty-handed? So you see me walk to the car to bring a schnapp. And of course they wanted something in an envelope as well. So he's saying without that he's not gonna allow me continue with the interview, and so that's why I got up to the car to get a schnapp.
Make what TV do me I want me just schnapp.
So before we got interrupted by our chairman, what I was saying is that so what happens is that if you are from a royal house or from a royal blood, they train you in these things and they teach you how to say the family emblem, the family names, family locations. So what happens is that wherever you go, whichever tribe or whichever village or whichever town you find yourself, the minute you say these family emblems, you'll be exempted from any execution. There's a word that elder used, that the knife does not touch your throat. So when you're from a particular royal house, it means that the knife cannot touch your throat. It means no matter what is going on, nobody in the village can hurt you or touch you. So that's where we got to before we got interrupted. So we're going to continue. So Elder was saying that because our ancestors knew that they are going somewhere, they are not here to stay, they are moving to another dimension. So from time to time, they will call all the young people in the family and bring them together and start teaching them and educating them about these things so that they can also pass the tradition on. So this was a mandatory thing that every elder in the house would have to teach the younger ones in the house about these things. And that is why he is able to know the things that he knows. And he says he's going to teach me some things today. I can't wait to hear actually. Hey,
guys.
Hey, mention that.
Loveness.
Here we go again. So now he literally is trying to accuse Elder KWASI AHEN that I've given him money and he's pocketed the money and he doesn't want to share the money with them. That basically accusations.
Boss, stop the thing. Different message you can.
Now the whole situation escalates. I mean, it goes to a whole another level, and there's another woman sitting the other way who is trying to find out, like, who has instructed me to come and take the information that I'm gathering. And Elder KWASI told her that I'm actually learning. I'm here to learn. And she's asking me if why am I here to learn? If I want to learn, why didn't I go to the classroom or to the lecture hall? And I was trying to let her know that we have various levels of studies or learning, and I just want to learn from my elders. I just want to learn the history of our ancestors. And I mean, it just takes turns. It just takes turns. It goes here and it comes here. And Elder KWASI is trying to explain it to them and break it down, and they're still not giving in. Basically, just either I give them something instantly, or they will disrupt the entire interview and talk about calling the assemblyman and all that. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, we don't say, "Oh, me, Oban, Umushase, and you need to come." And you mean, maybe about some mistake. Omufa inside and to say, about some and back them. About some who sat here, okay. Yes, Sabi, the Bisuna, the Dino, multinational, the top brand, and the Dinakuma, the multinational motor with Bessie Command, and it's kind of over there. Oh, for what the Dinado, what come on, some million. Don't come out some million now. You are now more work to anybody have a cafe? Young Juman come back on your program. Anybody about our time? Man, let me who about only who effect. Or so the move for Carol. This is Musa. That's a Munaka. If I be very rich, the answer, Mamma, no, why you snap to Papa Brother or the Apia? Papa, here is how to go keep up. What you know about what? Minimum from what? The council. I mean, minimum Sharamba. So I said to him, stop. I said, stop.
What are you? We don't know.
The message to say, Okomaru, which one over here did say, Taco, you should not say, you should not say, you give me the years I will get in.
I'm your
I know, Papa, what you listen. What too much time,
Auntie Ogun son of 1, 2, 3 or chairman. At this point, I'm totally distracted because with the noise and everything that's going on in the background, it's just insane. So Elder was talking about the fact that we came from the northern side of Ghana, came through Techiman to come into, this is the Fante tribe, to come into the central regions, and it was our 3 ancestors that actually led this. Osun Obruman Kuma or the pageant. You remember when going to, you remember the picture I took of the statue behind me? These are the ancestors that Elder was talking about. Remember that image? So yeah, at this point it's just insane, and he literally goes behind them and takes the alcohol and run away with it. We just wait for it. You see it soon. Just wait for it. From some 15 years, 20 years, I just want to know.
Papa, yeah, and Kaba can send me a years ago. Yeah, about what's my can yard.
About some other that simple question or just no questions. What the machine physics here? No,
Papa Jawas,
community paying no about
you community.
We are here. You know, come on. Your master never have
Yeah, you know, about custom, no,
So guys, what is really interesting is that I just discovered, there's a time ago I did a video speaking about Egypt and how our fathers were those that occupied Egypt. Egypt is not a white race place. We all know Egypt are Africans. Egypt are the original people that ruled in Egypt and were kings in Egypt. All the pharaohs were black people. So, I mean, this is not arranged. He has no idea that I've done a study on this. I've actually taught you guys about this. And the fact that most of the people in Egypt are these Arabians and Italians that have come to occupy the place. But what I'm discovering is that, so I'm a Fante. And he's also a Fante. I'm in the Fante community. So I never knew this, that Fantes are actually from, according to me, so we call it pepeful, which means the northness. So the word here is pepeful, which is northness. So Fantes are from the northern part of Ghana, meaning they came and settled in the north. So I'm wondering, wait a minute, if they came and settled in the north, does that have any connection with the ancient ones and fathers that came all the way from the northern part of Africa? And Elder Pisahim is explaining to me that yes, we moved from the northern part of Africa and relocated down to the other areas, all the way to Techiman. I've done a video on Techiman when I was teaching on the origination of Amen and how Amen the sun led our people down to the Techiman areas. So I've done a video on that already. But to actually meet a real life experience of an elder that is telling us that that's actually where we came from. We came from the northern part of Africa, and we were the original pharaohs. We are the original people occupying the place. And I know this for a fact because I know my ancestry is coming from the Algerian district. We are from Algeria. So it makes sense him telling us that the Fantes are actually from the northern part of Africa. These are things that I've read about in books, but I never knew that our existing ancestors or elders also knew about these things. Of course, our ancestors knew about these things. These are, everything you see in the book are the lives of our elders. They lived it. That is how come they had it to write it. If nobody ever lived anything, how could they have written it down? You have to understand that most of these things that you read in these books are the lives of our ancestors. They lived them. That is how come they could write them in these books. It doesn't matter what book you read. They are the lives of our ancestors. Our ancestors are the one that paved the way to every single thing you see around us. They are the pace setters. They started, and then the rest of the world comes to see it. Then they pick, they adapt, they learn from these things. So everything, even how we settle, how we move from place to place, where to settle, which area is best for you, were things that our ancestors taught the world. We as black people, we have a very rich and deep culture. The problem is the majority of these young people, the young people you find around, are all turning their backs on the very legacies that our ancestors laid down. That is how come, because if our ancestors told us how to live and how to do everything accordingly, and if you turn your backs on these things, how do you expect to succeed? How do you expect to do well? Yes, indeed, our ancestors worshiped the gods, but they did that with the wholeness of their heart. They followed the laws of the gods. They never went against them. And that is how come our ancestors did well, because they understood the gods. They say a king is the one that can set rules, set laws, and obey the laws. Such as our ancestors. Our ancestors obeyed the laws of nature, obeyed the laws of life, had an understanding with the God. But now we are living in a generation where everybody is going after Christianity because we say we are in the Christian era. But see how a mess our generation has become. We've turned our backs on these laws. That is how nothing is working for us. For instance, let's consider this. Let's say my father had a covenant with a God. What would my father do? My father would teach me the regulations, the things that I have to do to keep the covenant going. But that's not what we find in our generation. We've all thrown away the ways of our fathers and we've gone to follow the white man. Meanwhile, the white people, the Western world, is not our root. We need to connect to our root. We need to connect to where we are coming from. This is the only how we can succeed. This is the only how we can do well. The ways of our Creator are what our fathers held on to. They held on to them so tight, they didn't let go. And that literally became their lives. But today, one person will stand up and say, I go to church, I go to this, I go to this. They forget that the very thing they are fighting against are the very ways of the Creator. How can you fight against your Creator? How? One thing we had growing up was the fact that we knew we were under law. We knew we were under the discipline of our fathers. So when my father asked me to go to the farm with him, there's no way I'm going to be able to say no. But let's consider today's generation. What do we have? You can tell your son to do this and do that, and they will look at you in the face and say no. So we've literally become a lawless generation that has no respect and value for the elderly. How are we going to do any better with no laws, no discipline?